What's up guys, welcome to the first video. Today we're going to cook a traditional Chinese dish called bitter-melon stir-fried eggs. It is a dish my girlfriend loves. It's a healthy green dish and goes very good with rice. For this dish, I'm going to use 1.5 bitter melon. Together with it, we'll also need 3 to 4 eggs. Start by giving the bitter melon a quick wash. Make sure they are clean. On the cutting board, cut off the heads and tails of the bitter melon and split them from the middle. Use a spoon, gouge out the seeds from the bitter melon. Discard the seeds because we're not going to cook it. And we will slice it in half a centimeter long little, what do you call it, moon shape. Of course you can cut 2 or even 3 at the same time. Once you finish cutting one, just place them inside the bowl that you prepared earlier. And moving on to the next one. So here I struggled a little bit because the other one is a little bit longer for some reason. I just wanted a little bit short one, and then I forgot to, of course, take out the seed from inside the bitter melon. Okay, and for the ones I've already cut it, I just find that it's just easier to use the spoon to gouge out the seed from the center. And there you go. And one more. Give the bitter melon a quick rinse and soak it in water. Cold water, tap water is fine. And now we're going to put a teaspoonful of salt. I just used the Great Value salt from Walmart. Any salt works. This process is to keep the bitter melon from turning a different color, just to keep it green in general, so it looks nicer. This is actually not seasoning the bitter melon because we will be putting salt later on once we're cooking it. Now onto the eggs. We're just going to prepare a even smaller bowl and start cracking the eggs inside the bowl. We will use a chopstick to give a quick stir. Of course, if you have a whisk, you can use that as well. Again, some more salt. Half of a teaspoon. Not too crazy. Now, because this is my first time after all, I forgot two important ingredients inside the eggs. First of all, the tapioca starch. You can use any starch you want. What I did is I put a teaspoon of tapioca starch inside a little bowl and added a tiny bit of water and just give it a quick stir. And that will be added inside the egg and together with the black pepper that I will be adding in later. And then you can just beat it again with your chopstick or your stir stick. And here's the black pepper. It looked like I gave a generous amount of black pepper inside it, but in fact not really, because my grinder kind of sucks, so very little content is being grinded out. Is that a word? Grinded out? Ground out? Yeah, there you can see it. Not a lot of black pepper. And then again, give it a quick beating. When that is done, we're just going to prepare 3 to 4 cloves of garlic, peel it and cut it into thin slices. As you can see, the technique I use to peeling garlic is actually to give it a little firm twist onto the clove. That way the skin will peel right off. Cut off the head part of the garlic. And proceed to cut it into little slices. That is finally done, and now we can go ahead and start warming up the wok. I turned the fire on to the highest fire on my kitchen stove and just give it a generous amount of oil. While I wait for the wok is being heated up, give the wok a swirl. That way the oil can have a better chance to coat the wok more evenly. Okay, and it's been about 15 minutes. Now let's give the egg a last beat and pour the egg content inside the wok. As you can see, I didn't wait for the wok to heat up to too hot because I enjoy a more slimy texture of the fried eggs. If you want your eggs to be more solid looking, you could definitely heat up your wok a little bit longer before pouring in the eggs. With a wooden spatula, keep stirring the eggs to prevent it from solidifying. Again, if solid eggs are what you're looking for, you could just leave it undisturbed first until the eggs become a little bit more solid. This is what it looks like after about 30 seconds of stirring. We will now transfer it into the original container that held the raw eggs. I know that the container still has residues of raw eggs in it, but don't worry, as we are going to cook the eggs again in a later time. In the same pot, we will now cook the bitter melons. Before we put the bitter melons in, we'll need to put in the garlic slices to add more flavors into the dish. Stir fry the garlic for about 20 seconds and pour in the bitter melons. Of course, make sure the water has been drained out completely. I stir-fried it for about 2 minutes to make sure that the bitter melon are almost cooked. Then I pour in the eggs we cooked earlier. Mix them well with your spatula and stir-fry them until they're both completely cooked. This should take no more than 1 minute. After about a minute, go ahead and turn off the stove. It's time to season our dish. About a half teaspoon of salt, and a drizzle of sesame oil. And give it a one last stir to mix up the seasoning with our dish, and we are all good. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care.